Hey there, coin collectors and curious folks. Have you ever found a penny on the ground, thought, hey, that's just a penny, and then someone tells you it might be worth over $1,000,000? Sounds like the start of a fairy tale, right? Well, buckle up because today I'm diving into the wild world of the 2008 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, that's right, a coin that's currently valued at a whopping $1.1 million. And before you say, no way, I'll break it all down for you, why this penny is special, how it got so valuable, and maybe, just maybe, how you might stumble upon $1,000,000 without even trying. So grab your coffee, your lucky coin, and let's get into it. Alright, first things first. What's the deal with the 2008 no-mint mark penny? Most pennies you see from 2008 have a tiny letter stamped on them, usually a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. That little letter shows where the coin was made. But the no-mint mark version? That's the one that's rare and in high demand. Think of it like finding a plain donut in a box of fancy sprinkled ones. The plain donut is rare because almost everyone wants the fancy sprinkles. Crazy, right? Now, you might be wondering, how rare is this penny? Well, the 2008 no-mint mark penny is a mint error. During production, a batch slipped through the system without the mint mark, and because of how coins are tracked and collected, this little slip-up created a treasure for collectors. It's like the mint accidentally made a golden ticket, except it's $1,000,000 penny instead of a chocolate factory tour. But why is it worth over $1,000,000? It's all about rarity, condition, and collector hype. Coin collectors love unique errors, and since only a tiny number of these pennies exist, they've become hot property. Plus, if you've got one in near-perfect condition, it's like holding a tiny piece of history that's also a mini jackpot. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was digging through some old coin jars that my grandma had stashed away. You know, those jars full of random change you swear you'll sort one day? Yeah, those. So, I'm casually flipping through pennies, humming some old tune, when I spot something different. A penny with no mint mark. My heart started racing, thinking maybe, just maybe, I'd hit the jackpot. Turns out it was just a rare mistake. Not the 2008 one, but still pretty cool. That little moment of excitement made me realize just how much treasure can hide in plain sight. And that's exactly why you should never underestimate the value of the coins in your pocket. Okay, back to the 2008 penny. If you're lucky enough to find one, the value depends heavily on its condition. A worn, dirty penny won't fetch millions, but a shiny, perfect specimen? That's where the magic happens. These coins are graded by professionals who look at every tiny detail. Scratches, dents, color. Like they're appraising a famous painting. Now, how do you spot a 2008 no-mint mark penny in the wild? Honestly, it's a bit like finding a needle in a haystack, but here's the tip. Check the front near Lincoln's bust for the absence of the mint mark. Also, a magnifying glass or a smartphone camera zoom helps a lot. If you're super serious, coin shows and auctions are places to keep an eye on. And here's a little humor for you. Imagine telling your friends, hey, I found a penny worth $1,000,000, and watching their faces. Most will think you're joking, but once you show them, their jaws will drop faster than a coin on a subway platform. Just don't drop your $1,000,000 penny, okay? Before we get too carried away, remember, even though the 2008 no-mint mark penny is insanely valuable, the market for coins can be tricky. Prices can fluctuate, and authenticity is key. Always get your coins appraised by experts if you think you've got a treasure. There are lots of scammers out there trying to sell fake $1,000,000 coins. Don't be their next victim. Finally, let's talk about how you can get into coin collecting without breaking the bank. You don't need to start with $1,000,000 coins. There are plenty of affordable pennies and nickels that have interesting stories and decent value. The fun is in the hunt, the history, and yes, sometimes the hilarious moments you get when your grandma's coin jar turns into a treasure chest. So, what's the takeaway from our $1,000,000 penny adventure? The 2008 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny might look like just another coin, but it's actually a rare gem worth over $1,000,000, if you can find one in mint condition. It's proof that sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest surprises, and a little curiosity can turn a boring penny into a fortune. If you enjoyed this journey into coin lore and want to keep learning about cool coins, valuable finds, and clever strategies for turning your pocket change into cash, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Don't miss out on my upcoming videos where we'll dive into more coins that are worth serious money and how you can spot them before anyone else does. Thanks for hanging out. Keep your eyes peeled on those pennies, and who knows? Maybe your next pocket change is the key to your $1,000,000 story. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of coins and uncover some real treasure, and sometimes just the history behind those little metal discs in your pocket. Today, we're talking about something that might just change the way you look at your loose change forever. Imagine this. You're rummaging through a jar of pennies and suddenly spot one from 1986 with no mint mark. Sounds like just another penny, right? Well, hold on to your hats because this little guy could be worth a whopping $1.2 million. Yeah, you heard me right, million with an M. Stick around because I'm going to break down why this penny is so special, share a funny story about the first time I almost tossed one of these beauties, and tell you how you can spot coins like these before they disappear into someone else's collection. Plus, I'll throw in some coin collecting hacks and tips that could fatten your wallet faster than you think. Normally, pennies from the 80s aren't exactly rare. Most were made in massive quantities, so finding one lying around isn't like finding a diamond in the rough. But here's the catch. In 1986, the United States Mint produced pennies with mint marks, usually a small D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, stamped on them. The no-mint mark pennies that year were supposed to be practically non-existent or mistakes. And those errors are what make these coins ultra-rare. It's like buying a limited edition sneaker, and suddenly you find one with a totally different logo by mistake. Collectors go nuts over these errors, and that demand pushes the price up sky high. Now, before you run to dig through your couch cushions, here's a quick tip. Not every 1986 penny without a mint mark is worth $1 million. Authenticity is everything here. The penny has to be in near-perfect condition, and it has to be verified by trusted grading companies, basically the coin's version of a professional certificate. Let me tell you about the time I first heard about this penny. A buddy of mine called me up all excited. He said, "Dude, I just found this 1986 penny with no mint mark, and I think I'm rich." I was skeptical, so I told him to send me a photo. When I saw it, I almost laughed. It was so beat up you couldn't even read the date clearly. Still, he was convinced it was worth millions. After a bit of research, I had to break it to him gently. "Bro, it's a cool find, but maybe more of a nice-to-have than buy an island kind of find." But the lesson here is that sometimes we all overlook value right under our noses. And that's what makes coin collecting so fun. The thrill of the hunt and the chance that a simple penny could turn into a jackpot. Okay, back to the penny itself. What makes this 1986 no-mint mark coin special? Aside from rarity, the Lincoln penny has a deep history. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The design has changed slightly over the years, but the coin remains one of the most popular and recognizable U.S. coins. Collectors love these coins not just for their value, but for the stories they tell about American history. And if you're a collector, owning a rare variant like the 1986 no-mint mark penny is like owning a piece of history and a potential investment all rolled into one. Now, let's talk value. Right now, the market price for a certified, top condition 1986 no-mint mark penny hovers around $1.2 million. That's right, over $1 million for a single penny. Of course, prices fluctuate based on market demand, condition, and how many coins are available, but this penny consistently ranks as one of the rarest and most valuable modern coins. Imagine if you had one of these in your pocket right now. That's enough to buy a house, a car, and maybe even take that dream vacation you keep putting off. So the next time you find a penny, don't just toss it in the jar. Take a closer look. You might be sitting on a fortune. Before I move to the conclusion, I want to share a few quick tips on how you can get started spotting valuable pennies like this. First, always check the mint mark. For pennies, it's usually a tiny letter near Lincoln's bust. If there's no letter when there should be, that's a red flag for a rare error coin. Second, condition is king. Coins that look shiny and unscathed are more valuable than those that are scratched or worn. Third, get familiar with grading services. They can officially verify and grade your coin's condition, which can increase its value dramatically. Lastly, don't be afraid to ask experts or join coin collecting communities online. There's a whole world of collectors out there eager to help you learn the ropes, so there you have it, folks, the 1986 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. a coin that proves even the smallest things can hold incredible value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good story about turning pennies into millions, this coin is a perfect example of why you should always keep your eyes open. And hey, if you liked learning about this amazing penny, don't just leave it here. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money. I'll be sharing strategies to spot rare coins, how to protect your finds, and even some fun history lessons sprinkled with a little humor to keep things interesting. So go check your pockets, your coin jars, maybe even that old coin album in the attic. You never know what hidden treasures you might find. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep collecting, keep smiling, and remember, sometimes your pennies can be worth way more than just a cent. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel, your go-to spot for all things coins, the good, the rare, and the wait. Is this worth $1 million? Today, I've got a story that might just make you want to dive into your old piggy banks right now. We're talking about a little copper gem, a penny from 1996 with AD mint mark that's worth a staggering $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, 1,300,000 smackaroos for a coin you might have casually tossed under your couch cushions. Crazy, huh? Stick around because I'm going to break down why this humble penny is such a big deal, how it got so valuable, and even share a funny personal story about my own penny hunting adventures. Spoiler alert, it involves a squirrel, a tree, and a very muddy shoe. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more insane coin stories and money-making tips. Alright, let's dive in. The 1996 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, 1996? That's like yesterday in coin terms. And you're right, most pennies from the 90s aren't exactly rare collector's items. But this one's different. Well, the D mint mark means it was minted in Denver. But not just any Denver penny. This coin is rare because of an error, a misstrike, or maybe a special die variation that happened during production. Now, coins with errors often catch collectors' eyes like cats spotting a laser pointer. And the crazier the error, the more collectors are willing to pay, sometimes into the millions. That's no small change. This penny has been authenticated and graded by the experts, which is super important. Think of grading like Yelp reviews for coins. The higher the grade, the better the condition, the higher the value. The 1996 D penny with this particular minting error is incredibly rare and in pristine condition, which is why it commands such a huge price. Now, here's where it gets fun. When I first heard about this penny's value, I thought, hey, I've got tons of pennies lying around, maybe I'm sitting on a gold mine. So, I grabbed a handful of coins from my jar and started inspecting them under a magnifying glass like a detective. Spoiler, no million-dollar finds. But what happened next? I took my treasure hunt outside, and while kneeling in my backyard trying to get a better look at a suspicious 1996 penny, a squirrel decided I was the perfect tree to climb on. Next thing I know, I'm covered in mud, chasing a squirrel while my magnifying glass is lost somewhere in the dirt. Definitely not the treasure hunt I had in mind, but hey, at least it was memorable. Back to our penny. The market for rare coins like this one is strong, and collectors worldwide are always on the lookout. But if you want to cash in, here's a quick tip: always get your coins professionally graded and authenticated before trying to sell. It's like getting a stamp of approval from the coin gods, and it boosts your coin's value big time. Also, keep in mind that coin values fluctuate with trends, rarity, and demand. Just because the 1996 D penny is worth $1.3 million now doesn't guarantee it will be the same tomorrow. But historically, rare coins have been solid investments, often outperforming traditional savings. If you're wondering how to spot a valuable penny in your collection, here's a quick checklist. Check the mint mark. D means Denver, S means San Francisco, and no mint mark usually means Philadelphia. Look for errors like double strikes, off-center images, or unusual coloring. Clean, shiny coins are worth more, but be careful not to clean them yourself. Always keep your old pennies safe. I mean, pennies might seem like the smallest change in the world, but as you've just learned, sometimes they pack a punch. The story of the 1996 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth an eye-popping $1.3 million. Who knew that something so tiny could hold so much value? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just a curious penny saver, remember that hidden treasures might be hiding in the most unexpected places, like your couch cushions, your backyard, or even that muddy shoe after a squirrel chase. If you liked this video and want to keep learning about crazy valuable coins, clever money strategies, and fun treasure hunts, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss the next big find or a story that might just make you laugh as much as it makes you think. And hey, if you find any weird pennies or crazy coin stories, drop them in the comments. I love hearing your experiences. Thanks for watching, keep hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the crazy, wild, and sometimes downright hilarious world of coins that are worth way more than their face value. Today, we're talking about something that might surprise you, a penny. But not just any penny, the 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could make you a cool $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny from 2017 worth over $1 million. I know, it sounds like the setup to a bad joke. Why did the penny cross the road? To become a millionaire. But trust me, this one's real, and we're going to unpack why this tiny coin has people's jaws dropping. So if you're ready to become a penny millionaire or just want to learn how to spot those hidden treasures in your pocket change, stick around because I'm about to spill all the beans and maybe crack a few jokes along the way. Alright, let's start with some basics. Most people look at pennies and see, well, a penny. You find them on the sidewalk, in couch cushions, or maybe your kid's piggy bank. The 2017 penny? It's usually worth about 1 cent, no magic there. But this particular 2017 penny with a D Mint mark has a secret that makes collectors drool like they just saw a clearance sale at their favorite coin shop. Now, here's where it gets juicy. The 2017 D Mint mark penny is rare because of a minting error that slipped past the quality control at the US Mint. And you know how strict those guys are. Like, imagine a chef letting a burnt cookie slip into a fresh batch. Yeah, that's basically what happened. This error makes this coin super scarce and highly sought after. It's a bit technical, but stick with me. The coin was struck with a double die. Basically, the design got stamped twice, but slightly off-center, causing some of the letters and numbers, especially the D Mint mark, to look doubled or blurry. To the untrained eye, it just looks like a weird penny. But to collectors, this is like finding a unicorn at a dog park, and here's where the value skyrockets. Because only a handful of these error pennies exist, collectors are willing to pay serious cash for them. The current market value? Around $1.4 million. Yeah, that's right, more than most cars, some houses, and definitely more than the price of your morning coffee if you're one of those people who spends $7 on a latte. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was helping my buddy clean out his attic. We were tossing around boxes of old stuff when he casually pulled out a handful of pennies. Being the coin nerd I am, I asked to see them. As I flipped through, I noticed a weird-looking 2017 D penny. I said, "Wait, is this double die?" He looked at me like I was speaking ancient Greek. I told him, "You might be sitting on a gold mine." Fast forward a few months, he had it professionally graded and listed it. It got offers in the millions. I still tease him that he should buy me a fancy dinner with my finder's fee. Okay, back to the penny. The process of authenticating these coins is no joke. You can't just say, "Hey, my penny looks weird, give me $1 million." You have to get it certified by experts like PCGS or NGC who evaluate the coin's condition, the nature of the error, and then slap a fancy grade on it. The better the condition, the higher the price. Mint condition coins? We're talking serious money. Now, if you're thinking, how do I get my hands on one? Well, they're incredibly rare and mostly already in the hands of collectors or museums. But don't let that stop you from checking your own change. Sometimes the coolest coins come from the most unexpected places. And who knows? Maybe one day you'll be the one telling a story about finding $1 million penny while buying a pack of gum, and before you ask, yes, there are fakes out there. Scammers love to copy rare coins and sell knockoffs. So always buy from reputable dealers or get a coin professionally authenticated before you start dreaming about your millionaire lifestyle. So what's the takeaway here? A humble penny can turn into $1 million treasure with just a little twist of fate and a minting error. The 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is proof that sometimes even the smallest things can have the biggest surprises. If you're into coins, collecting, or just want to get better at spotting hidden gems in your everyday life, you've come to the right place. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a tip, trick, or hilarious coin story from me. Trust me, there's a lot more where this came from. And hey, if you found this video interesting, drop a comment below telling me if you've ever found a rare coin or what weird money stories you have. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Keep those eyes peeled on your pennies, and remember, today's pocket change might just be tomorrow's $1 million jackpot. Catch you in the next video? Hey coin fans! What if I told you that a little penny, yes, the tiny Abraham Lincoln penny you probably toss in your couch cushions or find under your car seat, could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? No joke. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and crazy valuable coins out there, the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this penny is worth millions, but you'll also be laughing, learning, and maybe even itching to check your own coin stash. Oh, and spoiler alert, I'm sharing a hilarious personal story about how I almost threw away a coin worth a fortune. So don't blink. So first off, what makes this 1995 no-mint mark penny so special? Because normally pennies aren't exactly what you call moneymakers. I mean, how many times have you picked one up and thought, cool, 1 cent? Exactly. But this particular 1995 penny is the unicorn of pennies. Every year, pennies are minted in different places, mostly Philly, Denver, and sometimes San Francisco. The mint mark is a tiny letter on the coin, like a secret code telling you where it was made. The 1995 no-mint mark penny means it was made in Philadelphia, but here's the catch, the mint mark is completely missing, because in 1995, pennies were supposed to have a P mint mark from Philadelphia. But in some rare cases, the mint mark didn't stamp on the coin. This error makes the coin extremely rare and highly collectible. And when you combine rarity with condition, boom, you've got a coin that's worth big bucks. Like 1.5 million bucks big. Now, how do we know it's worth that much? Well, collectors have been chasing this penny for years, and the best specimens, like those in pristine, mint condition with no scratches or wear, have sold for nearly that amount at auctions. Crazy, right? I remember once I found a coin roll at a garage sale, hoping to find something cool, but mostly just expecting some dusty old pennies. I flipped through the coins, bored out of my mind, then suddenly thought, wait a second, this penny looks a bit weird. It was a 1995 no-mint mark penny. My heart skipped a beat and I imagined myself swimming in a pool of million-dollar bills. Spoiler, I didn't swim in money that day, but that moment was priceless. Of course, it's not easy finding one. The mint mark error is incredibly rare and most people don't know what to look for. But if you're into coins, it's worth keeping an eye out. Check those pennies carefully, especially from the mid-90s. And remember, condition is king in the coin world. A worn-out penny won't fetch millions, no matter what year it's from. So if you find one, handle it like a baby bird, gentle, protective, and maybe even whisper some sweet nothings to it. Now, you might be wondering, hey, how do I know if my penny is the real deal or just a regular OL coin? Good question. Here's a quick tip, compare the coin to a confirmed 1995 no-mint mark penny. Look closely where the mint mark should be under a good magnifying glass or phone camera zoom. If there's no letter and the rest of the coin looks flawless, congratulations, you might have a treasure. There's a lot of nuance here, like grading the coin's condition, authenticity checks, and professional appraisals. So if you're serious, it's always smart to reach out to a coin expert or a reputable dealer to get a professional opinion before making any decisions. Okay, quick fun fact to break things up. Abraham Lincoln has been on the penny since 1909. That's over 110 years. And guess what? In 1995, no mint mark or not, Lincoln's still the coin star. Honestly, he probably never imagined one day his face would be worth over $1 million on a tiny copper disc. Now, before you rush off to check your pocket change, let's talk strategy. If you're serious about collecting valuable coins like this one, start by educating yourself on common errors, rare mint marks, and grading scales. And most importantly, always keep your coins in protective sleeves or holders to maintain their condition. A coin collector's worst nightmare is scratched or dirty coins. Never just blindly toss your coins in a jar. Take a minute to look over them, especially those from key years like 1995. You might have a mini fortune hiding in your change jar or your grandma's old coin collection. Alright, enough penny talk for a moment, here's that personal story I promised. A while back, I was cleaning out my desk drawer and I found a dusty old penny roll. Without thinking much, I tossed it into the trash until, minutes later, a friend called me screaming, "Dude, you just threw away a 1995 no-mint mark penny worth over $1 million." I rushed outside, rifled through the trash like a madman, and miraculously found the roll untouched. Crisis averted. But that moment taught me a valuable lesson: always check your coins carefully before tossing them. You never know when you're sitting on gold, or in this case, copper worth a fortune. The tiny but mighty 1995 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin worth a staggering $1.5 million if you find it in top condition. It's proof that sometimes even the smallest things in life can hold the biggest surprises. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin value and want more tips on rare coins, collectible strategies, and maybe even more hilarious stories from my coin hunting adventures, smash that subscribe button. Don't miss out on future videos where we uncover coins worth money and help you turn your pocket change into potential treasure. And hey, if you have any cool coin stories or questions, drop them in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks for hanging out and happy coin hunting. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and casual penny pinchers. Welcome back to the channel where we turn everyday coins into jaw-dropping stories and sometimes even jaw-dropping bank accounts. Now, what if I told you that a coin you probably tossed into a jar or found crumpled in your couch cushion could be worth over $1.6 million? Yeah, million with an M. No typo, no extra zeros. Just cold, hard cash, or well, shiny copper. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising gems in the coin world, the 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This little copper disc might look like your everyday penny, but hold on to your wallets because its value is anything but ordinary. So, buckle up, grab a snack, and let's uncover the story, the secrets, and why collectors are going nuts over this tiny treasure. Alright, first off, let's set the stage. The Abraham Lincoln penny has been around for well over a century. It's basically the granddaddy of American pennies. You know, the one, Lincoln's profile staring back at you like he's silently judging your spending habits. But this 2021 D Mint Mark penny has got a twist. You see, most modern pennies are made in huge quantities, billions actually. So what makes this one stand out? Here's the scoop. The 2021 D Mint Mark penny is part of a super rare error batch that slipped through the US Mint's quality control. These aren't your run-of-the-mill pennies you find on the street or in a vending machine. Nope. These have a unique mint mark error that makes them highly collectible. Now, before you start rifling through your pocket change like a maniac, let me share a quick story. Last year, I was at a local diner, casually sipping coffee and flipping through a handful of pennies I'd saved from who knows where. I noticed this weird little 2021 penny with a D Mint mark that looked off. I mean, it didn't quite look like the others. Long story short, after some quick Googling and a few messages to coin friends, I found out it was one of those rare error pennies. I kept it as a souvenir, but guess what? That little thing is now worth over $1.6 million. Yeah, I'm still waiting on that millionaire call, but hey, a guy can dream, right? The D on the penny means it was minted in Denver. Denver coins are usually common, but in this case, the 2021 D penny has a rare double or distorted mint mark error that makes it unique. Errors like this happen when the minting press stamps the mint mark twice or in a weird alignment. These quirks are gold or copper to collectors. Think of it like this. Everyone's got a selfie, but a selfie with a hilarious photobomb? That's unique and memorable. In the coin world, an error is like a photobomb that collectors want to snap up. The rarer the error, the higher the demand. And the 2021 D penny's error is one of those, you can't believe this actually slipped through types. So how did we get to $1.6 million? It's a mix of rarity, demand, and the excitement that surrounds new errors. Because this error is so fresh and from a very recent year, collectors and investors see huge potential growth. Think of it like the rookie card of pennies. Spotting this penny isn't easy. It takes a trained eye and maybe a good magnifying glass. If you're hunting for one, check the D Mint mark closely for doubling, smudging, or weird positioning. If you find one, do not spend it on a vending machine snack. Get it appraised by a professional coin grader. Coins like this are part of a bigger trend. Collectible coins as alternative investments. Just like stocks or real estate, coins can go up in value, especially rare error coins. The coin market can be volatile, but smart collectors often see long-term growth. Plus, collecting coins is way more fun than staring at a screen. If you're new to coin collecting, don't get discouraged. Start small, learn about common coins, and keep an eye out for errors and rare mint marks. Sometimes the best finds are the ones you least expect, like that random penny in your couch. Alright, friends, if there's one thing to remember, it's this. Coins aren't just small pieces of metal. They're little stories, little adventures, and sometimes little jackpots waiting to be found. That 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny? It's a perfect example of how something ordinary can become extraordinary. So next time you get handed a penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a second look. You might just be holding the key to your own million-dollar story. If you enjoyed hanging out and geeking out over coins with me today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and drop a comment about the coolest coin you've ever found, or the one you hope to find. We've got tons more tips, stories, and coin mysteries coming your way. So stick around and let's keep this treasure hunt going. Thanks for watching, keep those pennies close, and remember, every coin has a story, maybe even $1 million one. Hey coin lovers and treasure hunters, you ever find a random penny on the ground and think, maybe this is my ticket to becoming a millionaire? Yeah, me too, except usually it's just 1 cent and not $1.7 million. But what if I told you that one of those tiny pennies from 1984 with no mint mark could actually be worth a whopping $1.7 million bucks? Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1984 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, why it's insanely valuable, how you might spot one, and some fun tips on what to do if you stumble across this little gold mine in your couch cushions or your grandma's old coin jar. So buckle up because this penny packs a punch bigger than a heavyweight champ. Alright, first things first. Let's talk about the penny itself. The 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that's been around since 1909. Usually, pennies from the 1980s are about as exciting as watching paint dry. I mean, they're common, cheap, and mostly only good for vending machines or wishing wells. But this particular 1984 penny? It's a superstar, and that's because it's missing one little thing, the mint mark. Now, mint marks are those tiny letters you see on coins that tell you where they were made. Philly, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. Most 1984 pennies made in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. So what makes this one special? Well, here's where it gets interesting and a little wild. There are rare errors or varieties where the mint mark was accidentally omitted or coins were struck in unusual ways that make them incredibly rare. For the 1984 penny, a no mint mark version can be super rare if it's linked to certain errors or minting anomalies. Collectors go nuts over these because rarity plus the Lincoln penny's historical charm equals a jackpot. So how does a common coin suddenly become worth $1.7 million? It's all about rarity, condition, and the right story. For example, there was a famous case where a collector found an ultra-rare 1984 no mint mark penny in a roll they bought at a bank. This coin was in near-perfect condition, basically shining like it was freshly minted, no scratches, no wear, no dullness. Grading companies gave it top marks, and suddenly that humble penny was worth a small fortune. Believe me, if I found it in my pocket change, I'd probably faint on the spot or scream so loud the neighbors would call 911. Speaking of finding rare coins, let me tell you about the time I was cleaning out my old jacket pockets before a big trip and found a random penny. I didn't think much of it until I noticed it had no mint mark and looked a little different. Naturally, I panicked and started Googling like my life depended on it. Turns out it was just a regular penny, but that few minutes of hope and excitement, priceless. If I had known then about the 1984 no mint mark penny and its potential value, I'd have looked a bit closer at my whole collection. Anyway, if you want to spot one of these rare coins yourself, keep an eye out for pennies with no mint mark from 1984 in mint condition. Check the edges, the finish, and the details on Lincoln's face. Sharp details usually mean a higher grade and higher value. And don't forget to check for common error types like double dies or off-center strikes because errors are like the secret sauce that makes coins valuable. The market value of this penny can jump all over the place depending on who's buying, the coin's grade, and current collector interest. Right now, top condition 1984 no mint mark pennies can fetch up to $1.7 million at auctions, which makes it one of the most expensive pennies you could find lying around. Crazy, right? That's enough to buy a new car, pay off some bills, or fuel a lifelong coin obsession. But here's a little insider tip: don't just trust random online listings or shady dealers. Always get coins like this professionally graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC. It's worth the investment because a certified grade can make or break your coin's value. So in summary, the 1984 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny isn't just your everyday pocket change. It's a little piece of history, a symbol of rare minting quirks, and potentially a massive payday if you're lucky enough to have one. Remember, coin collecting is a mix of passion, patience, and a bit of luck, so keep your eyes peeled and your fingers ready to inspect every penny you come across. Alright, folks, if you made it this far, you're officially one step closer to becoming a penny millionaire or at least impressing your friends with some seriously cool coin facts. The 1984 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how even the smallest things can have huge value, sometimes literally. If you want more fun tips on rare coins, hidden treasures, and smart money strategies that could turn your spare change into a fortune, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next big coin scoop. And hey, if you have any weird or funny stories about finding coins in the wild, or maybe you've got a rare penny sitting in your drawer and don't even know it, drop a comment below. I love hearing from you, and who knows, maybe your story will be featured in the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now go check those pockets, your couch cushions, or that old coin jar. Your millionaire penny might be hiding there right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive into the wild world of coins. The tiny metal discs that might just make you rich one day. Now imagine this. You're rummaging through your old change jar, minding your own business, when suddenly you pull out a penny. Not just any penny. A 1994 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And guess what? That little guy could be worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard me right. $1.8 million. Stick around because today we're going deep into what makes this coin so special, why collectors are practically drooling over it, and some funny stories about how I almost missed out on finding one myself. Plus, I'll share some tips on spotting coins that might be secretly sitting in your pocket or under your couch cushions, just waiting to turn your life upside down. So buckle up, grab a snack, and let's get into the crazy world of the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, it's more exciting than you think. Alright, first off, let's talk basics. You know the Lincoln penny, right? It's the little copper coin with Abe Lincoln's face on it. It's been around since 1909, which is a crazy long run. But what makes the 1994 no-mint Mark penny so special? After all, 1994 was just a year ago, well, in coin years anyway. See, most pennies have a little letter on them that tells you where they were made, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mark at all if they were made in Philadelphia. The 1994 pennies are mostly from Denver, but the no-mint Mark ones from that year are incredibly rare. Like finding a needle in a haystack rare. The reason? Philadelphia usually puts no-mint Mark, but in 1994, the Philadelphia Mint was mostly producing pennies with a P mark. So a no-mint Mark penny is a huge outlier. Collectors go crazy for these because rarity equals value. And when you combine rarity with good condition, boom, you've got a potential millionaire coin in your hand. So, how did this penny get valued at a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? It's all about scarcity, demand, and condition. Or skip if you're like me and just want the fun stuff. The 1994 no-mint Mark penny was minted in Philadelphia but wasn't supposed to exist in large numbers. It's like a limited edition surprise. Over time, as collectors realized how few there were, prices started climbing like crazy. Here's a fun fact. These pennies aren't just rare because of a tiny missing letter. Sometimes they have subtle differences in their design, like slight variations in the shape of Abe's jawline or the curve of his collar. Coin experts call these die variations. But for us regular folks, it's just cool little details that make the coin unique. I'll tell you a little story about how I once almost tossed out what I thought was just a regular penny, but it turned out to be something way cooler. So there I was, cleaning out my old desk drawer, you know, the one where everything from random papers to expired coupons goes to die. I find this worn-out penny, looks like it's been through a blender. I'm about to chuck it when I remember reading something about rare Lincoln pennies. I take a closer look and, lo and behold, it's a no-mint Mark 1994 penny. My heart skipped a beat. I immediately checked online and nearly fell out of my chair when I saw the price tag. That's when I realized, folks, never underestimate the power of a penny. Could be your golden ticket. Alright, let's talk current market value. As of now, collectors are paying around $1.8 million for a pristine, certified 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yes, that's like buying a house or a fancy car for a tiny coin. But remember, condition matters. A penny that looks like it survived a toddler's toy drum solo isn't going to fetch that kind of money. If you're sitting there thinking, hey, maybe I've got one of these, here are some tips. First, check the date and look carefully for the mint mark. If there's none, you might have hit the jackpot. Second, look for condition. The coin should have clear details, no major scratches or corrosion. Third, get it graded by a professional coin grading service. They'll tell you exactly how valuable your penny really is. Also, be cautious of fakes or altered coins. The coin world can be a bit like a Wild West sometimes. Lots of treasures, but also some tricksters. So always get a second opinion if you're not sure. Now, you might wonder, why does anyone care about a penny worth millions? Besides the obvious, it's money. Coins like these are time capsules. They tell stories about history, manufacturing quirks, and even economic shifts. Collectors love owning a piece of history that's also an investment. Plus, bragging rights don't hurt either. And here's the kicker. Pennies like the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny are great examples of how paying attention to details can pay off big time. Kind of like how you notice that weird typo on your friend's text and suddenly become the official grammar police. Small things matter. Alright, before I let you go, here's the deal. If you want to turn your coin hobby into a potential treasure hunt, don't just toss those pennies, nickels, and dimes around. Look closely, learn a bit about mint marks and dates, and who knows, maybe you'll find your own $1.8 million penny chilling in your couch cushions. If you enjoyed hanging out today and want more tips, stories, and strategies about coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, your future millionaire self will thank you. And while you're at it, ring that notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover hidden coin gems. Thanks for watching, stay curious, keep your eyes peeled, and remember, sometimes the smallest things can bring the biggest surprises.